Hey everybody, I'm back. I just got a couple cases of MREs come in today. I ordered both case A and B. I had case A before. That was my first case unboxing that I did was case A. And then I said I would do case B when I got a case B in. So I got a case B, and this time both cases that I got are made by AmeriQual. My first case A was made by Sausa. So a little bit of a change up in the brands, which ain't bad. I'm not going to complain. Trying to adjust my, there we go. My little camera stand was starting to topple over on me. I had to make an adjustment. Anyway, so this is case B, and I'd already cracked open the case to kind of save time so that it wasn't, you didn't have to watch me and just stand there trying to fight with opening it. It was, they're tough to open. They put the glue to them, that's for sure. It's like they don't want you to get into them until you absolutely have to. But anyway, so this is case B, and everything about the box is completely the same. It's all the same as the first case. You know, it's got all the same. It's all got the same writing on it, or the same wording. Everything's all pretty much the same, except it just says case B, menus 13 through 24. So we'll go ahead and get one out here. So this is the first one I pulled out is menu 21. Tuna chunks light. I doubt this one has a FRH in it. If it does, I'd be very surprised. I think I've seen one of these opened up before and reviewed. And it didn't have a flameless ration heater, which would make sense because, well, I mean, it's basically like a cold lunch is what this one's supposed to be like. So this was menu 21, and you can see it says AmeriQual packing, which is just one of the brands that makes these. You got Sausa, AmeriQual, and I can't remember the third one off the top of my head right now. There is three makers of MREs, and I've come across Sausa and AmeriQual so far, and I know there's another one that for some reason my mind's running blank and I can't think of it. Okay, and then this is menu 22. This is Asian style beef strips with vegetables. And I got a feeling that's going to be a pretty good one. It's thick. When you feel it, it's very, very dense and thick. So it's got a lot going on inside there. I can't wait to get into that one and try it out. Yeah, it's made by AmeriQual. All these are made by AmeriQual. And what I've kind of learned since I started getting these cases is when you order a case, you'll either get a case by Sausa, AmeriQual, and then the other one, which I still can't think of the name of. But you'll get the entire case by one manufacturer. They're all going to be made and packed. They're all going to be packed by the same brand or whatever it says on the box. I thought previously that you get a case and it could have a mixed bag of being packed, but by the different makers or the different packers. But I didn't know that before. I mean, there's some things you learn like that. It's not uncommon to learn stuff as you go with this stuff. So let's get another one out. Okay, this is menu 19. Beef patty jalapeno pepper jack. Now I've heard a lot of people say that this is a very good one. Like a lot of people like this one. And I have heard of some people complaining that there should be like a hamburger bun in there instead of tortillas. But when you put it all together, the tortillas wind up being more convenient because you can actually close everything up inside, and it doesn't tend to be as messy as what the hamburger bun would be. So yeah, these is a lot of interesting menus. I'm pretty excited to try these out. I tried all of Case A, and I didn't find nothing with Case A that disappointed me. So I'm kind of hoping Case B is the same way. And this one here kind of surprised me. Of course, they did say that this could happen from time to time. Just depends on what's going on somewhere. But they actually threw in a menu from Case A into Case B, and this is menu 5, chicken chunks, white cooked. I do remember I just had that out of the Case A not too long ago, and I do know for a fact it does not come with a flameless ration here. And for me, I think that one needs the FRH, because chicken chunks, it would taste a lot better if it was heated up. It was kind of bland. For my palate, it was really bland, and just tasted too much like cold lunch meat in a way. So I feel like it would taste a lot better heated up. That's one of those things where they should have put the FRH in. But you know, you can't really you can't really pick and choose what you get in your face, unfortunately. But, oh well, we'll roll with it. Since I got both cases, I'm kind of hoping that maybe they just put the menu that I'm missing out of Case B in Case A, and put the menu from Case A in Case B. And after going through all of these, I kind of figured out what menu number I'm actually missing out of Case B, and it's menu number 23. So I'm going to have to look that up and see what menu that was if I don't find it in Case A, which is possible. I mean, they've done it to Case B, they could do it to Case A too, I'm sure. But now this one here is menu 20, and this is hash brown potatoes with bacon, pepper, and onions. Like, I'm from the country, and that menu right there to me just screams home style country cooking right there. Like, when you go to have like a breakfast in the country, you all the time are going to think of something to do with potatoes and bacon and onions and stuff like that. It's just like a straight up country breakfast right there. I mean, and so that's very familiar to me. That's going to be very good, I got a feeling. Okay, the next one we got is menu number 24. Now, this is the very last menu of the entire MRE series. And it's Southwest style beef and black beans. That's going to be very interesting. Being as Southwest, I got a feeling it's going to have some heat, or it's going to come with some type of hot sauce to give it some heat. Southwest, they like to spice it up over there. So let's see. Okay, the next one we got. Oh boy, this is going to be a good one. This is menu number 16. This is the rib-shaped barbecue flavored pork patty. It kind of sounds like it's going to remind me of a lot of times, like the McDonald's McRib sandwich, it's probably the exact same thing, honestly. But maybe that's why McDonald's doesn't have that out all the time, because the U.S. government's taking most of the supply of it and using it in their MREs, and McDonald's doesn't get to get it until they make enough MREs that McDonald's can get the leftovers. That's a possibility. I don't know. Alright, next one we have is menu number 15. Now, this is a Mexican style chicken stew. That's going to be very interesting. I'm not, Mexican food, I like it to an extent. If I can get it my way, I like it. I don't like a lot of peppers. I don't like a lot of tomatoes. But we'll see with it. I mean, being an MRE, it can't be that bad. I mean, all your MREs now are pretty good, so I'm sure it'll be good. Okay, the next one we have. Oh, this is a good one. This is menu number 13. This is cheese tortellini and tomato sauce. There's probably not hardly anybody around that's not going to like that one. That's one of them classic tried and true dishes right there. You can't go wrong with that. Oh boy. So the next one we have is menu number 18. Now, you guys can tell me for yourself. If you're not gonna like that menu, you got some issues, because beef ravioli and meat sauce. I mean, come on, that's got to be one of the most classic dishes there is. And the next one we have is another breakfast menu. So this one here is pork sausage patty maple flavored. Now, I've heard that these come with the table syrup. No, excuse me. They come with the table syrup. What I've heard. I think I might have seen one of these be opened. I'm not 100% sure, but that's, there's only two, from what I've come across, there's only two breakfast MRE menus in both cases. That's one thing that I would like to see the MREs do is, put some more breakfast menus in these, because there's probably a lot of times these guys, when they get a case of MREs, in the morning, their first meal, there's only going to be two guys out of the whole platoon that's going to get a breakfast menu. The rest of them's going to be getting random stuff. I kind of would like to see, a whole case of MREs be breakfast menus. That way, you can get, if you got a platoon of 12, and there's 12 MREs in a case, that means every guy in the platoon is going to get a breakfast menu for breakfast. To me, that would make the most sense. But I don't know. Maybe by selection, like they've been doing for years. I mean, they used to have the menu 4. Menu 4 used to be at one time the veggie omelet, which was notoriously known as the omelet. And by selection of the troops, they managed to wean that one out. So maybe that's what it's going to take, is just selection and feedback from the troops. Say, hey, we want some more breakfast menus. But anyway, this is going to be the last MRE in the case, and it's menu 14. This is ratatouille, mixed vegetable, and panini. I guess that's how you pronounce that. My country accent's not going to let me pronounce this fancy stuff very well. But I'm going to guess that's what that says. Ratatouille, mixed vegetables, and panini. I'm sure I probably butchered that, but you know the country accent, you know, it doesn't work very good with fancy stuff. So I'm gonna try to get these in here as neat as I can. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna get them in there exactly how they was packed, but we'll try. That's all we can do, right? Just try. And I gotta note that the government, when they pack these things, I tell you what, I don't know how they do it, but it is like, it's like an art. Like the way they pack these is so tight and so neat, like it literally forms a perfect block. And you're not gonna, it's just one of those things that once you get it unpacked, you know, you're not going to get it back in there the way they had it. There's no, unless you can like take a picture of it before you unpack it and then pack it, you know, back the way it was. But yeah, that's probably about as good as you're going to get with that. It's somewhat like they had it, but I don't think you would get the flaps to close back like they had it. There's no way. I mean, it's more or less loosely packed in there now compared to the way they had it. It was like, the stuff was like so compressed. It was crazy. But yeah, that's my unboxing of the Case B MREs. And if you go back and watch Case A and then watch Case B, you'll actually get to see the entire MRE menu lineup. That's, you know, currently in production and currently in use by the troops. I don't think they've changed anything. I do expect there to be some changes coming up soon. They do change stuff, you know, a lot, and I expect that it won't be very long down the road. You'll start to see some different menus pop up. You'll start to see some menus disappear, and all that fun stuff. I might do a review of a Case B menu later on today. Just depends on how well my internet wants to work. I've had some problems with the internet here lately, and that's kind of the reason it's been kind of videos far between, because I'm having to work around the internet issue, and we just had the people for the internet out here, and they worked on it, and so far it's been doing a lot better. But technology, it's only good when it works. When it don't work, it's a pain. I mean, that's kind of the way I feel about it. You know, there's technology and stuff we can do nowadays with phones and cameras and internet and stuff like that. I mean, it's great. It's really fascinating. But when it don't work right, it's probably one of the biggest headaches that I have when it comes to stuff like that. But trying to think of anything else. I could go ahead and pan you over here. Okay, there's the case A that I got. Well, here's case B. Now when I got these, they had the plastic strap. Of course, they had the normal ones around the each case, but they had a bigger one that was wrapped around both cases, holding both cases together as just one bundle. And that's how they did that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it on this one, as far as I can tell. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Yeah, I mean that's gonna be interesting trying this case B out, and then once I've had every menu, I'll probably do a final conclusion of both cases video. And might go over maybe some of the menus I like the best, some of the menus I don't like the best, and which case I like the best that has the most of what I like in it. Oh yeah, I did forget to mention the pack date on these. I'll have to pick you up here and I'll take you over and try to see if I can find it here. Nope, don't know. Yep, there it is. Okay, packed 12/8/15, which is the 342nd day of 2015, and it was just inspected like this month sometime, 12/2018. Case B, menu 13 through 24. Of course, that is actually now somewhat of a lie because I did get a case A menu in here, but case A. Let's see. Case A is the exact same. It was packed the exact same day, inspected the exact same month of this year. Which, you know, there's your TTI sticker, and it's well good. I mean, this stuff here ought to be no problem. Now, if you like watching old people, or not old people, but if you like watching old rations being consumed, there it is on the case B. It's still real good. If you like watching old vintage rations being consumed daringly, you can check out. There's two guys I highly recommend to see stuff like that. Two guys I highly recommend watching for old MRE consumption, or old ration consumption, in that matter. Old Smokey. He's pretty local to me, actually. He lives in the exact same county I do. So he's my local MRE reviewer that I watch a lot, and he does live streams. So a lot of times, if you get on a live stream, a lot of times I'll be on there too, watching and chatting with all the other MRE reviewers that's in the MRE review family. That's what I like to call it anyway. But yeah, he's a super nice guy. He's awesome. He has a lot of foreign MREs. He has a lot of vintage MREs, vintage rations, a lot of accessories. So he's a very knowledgeable guy with the stuff. He's been in it quite a lot longer than I have. I'm more or less just getting started with it. So, but I've learned a lot watching his videos, and he's taught me a lot about the vintage MREs, vintage rations, foreign rations, even as far as how to consume the vintage ration food if it's even still edible. But that's always the question with vintage rations. You have to use your senses on that stuff. I mean, it literally comes down to a matter of life or death in some cases. To use your senses on that stuff, because that stuff can be so poisoned and rancid that if you consumed it, it could probably come close to killing you, if not killing you, because old, spoiled, rotten food. It's pretty hazardous stuff. Once it rots and it turns into a different chemically formed substance, it's pretty hazardous stuff. I mean, you gotta wear your eye protection. You gotta wear gloves. Sometimes you gotta wear your masks and stuff to keep from breathing in botulism and rancidity. It can be pretty crazy stuff. So yeah, if you find an old vintage case of rations like MCIs from the 60s or RCIs from the 50s, or if you get lucky enough to find a World War II K ration, or a B ration, a K ration, or anything like that, be prepared. Be prepared for the absolute worst. Don't open it up and expect you're going to be able to eat anything out of it. You literally have to open it up and expect to not eat any of it, and just be amazed at the fascination of how the stuff was packed and stored, and how long stuff lasted before it exploded, and just wonder how many places that thing's been over the years. That's the fun in it, really, right there. If you get lucky enough to get into one and find something that's edible, it's most likely going to be something like peanut butter, sugar, coffee. Sometimes you can get lucky with some tea still being edible. Very, very rarely you can still eat some of the crackers in them. But that's about it. When you get down to it, that's actually about it. I know most of the old rations, they used to contain cigarettes. That was back in the good old days when nobody was offended by anything. So they, everybody back then smoked. Like, that was one of those times where people looked at you funny if you didn't smoke. That's how much smoking was ingrained into our society back in those days. If you didn't smoke, people thought you was weird. So now it's the opposite. People think you're weird if you smoke. It's kind of funny how times change like that. And I kind of wish it was like the old ways. But people kind of get that way anymore. But yeah, a lot of times if you get lucky enough, too, the cigarettes will even still be good. I know Old Smokies come across a few packs of the vintage cigarettes out of the vintage rations that were still perfectly fresh. Like, they just sat in there for 60 years or more and aged like a fine wine. And people say that cigarettes actually get better when they age. So, but that's kind of the whole ordeal with vintage rations. When something's bad, a lot of times you'll be able to tell it right off. Like, it'll smell horrible. It'll look horrible. You'll open stuff up and might have black mold in there, might have dry mold, might have little flecks of rust from the tin cans that they packed them in. It's just anything. And the absolute hardest thing to detect with vintage rations is dry milk. Dry milk is really hard to detect when it's bad, unless it's so bad that you can tell. Like it goes bad in stages. Like it starts off, it'll keep its color, and it won't smell bad, but it'll taste bad, and it'll make you sick. And then it gets to the point where it's actually lost its color. It turns yellow. It smells like old, rotten, sweaty feet, or old, rotten cheese. And at that point, you can pretty well tell it's bad. But yeah, you gotta watch stuff like creamer or anything that had the old dry milk in it. You just gotta watch that stuff. And then the other guy that I highly recommend watching is Steve 1989. He's from a website called MREinfo.com. MREinfo.com. That's where he got his start. He was on that website. With the forums and stuff. But that guy right there has the absolute largest collection of every kind of military ration, MRE, survival gear related. I mean, everything. He's got it. I mean, he's probably got over 180 videos on his YouTube channel right now, and half of it's like foreign MREs, the other half of it's like modern rations from all over the world, even here. He's one of those other guys that's very knowledgeable with his rations and MREs and stuff. So give those two guys a look if you want to see some of that stuff right off the bat. I know where my channel is just getting started. I haven't got a chance to get into like the vintage rations and the foreign rations very much yet because, well, number one, the vintage rations are really expensive, like super expensive. If you find a World War II K ration and it's complete, whether it's good or not, it would probably cost you $300 just for the ration itself. The price on that stuff is everywhere. You may even have to try and find individual components out of the ration. They sell individually. Like I think World War II K ration chewing gum, if it's in good shape, can fetch like $20 just by itself. And stuff like that. I mean, the prices of that stuff is outrageous. But it is what it is. I mean, the market on that stuff is more or less powered by the people who's willing to pay for the stuff. I gotta put you on pause there a minute. I just got a UPS truck pulling the drive.